Every 3 seconds, another older adult somewhere in the world slips into cognitive decline. That's not a statistic for the future. That's happening right now while this video plays. And here's the part that should scare you before I explain anything else. For millions of seniors, the damage isn't coming from aging, genetics, or bad luck. It's being triggered silently. You've been told to trust your prescriptions. You've been told that if a medication is common, approved, and handed to you by a professional, it must be protecting your health. That belief is dangerously wrong, because hiding in plain sight is a group of medications taken every single day that quietly interfere with memory circuits, shrink key brain regions, and accelerate dementia pathways. And here's what's most alarming. Most seniors taking these drugs have absolutely no idea this is happening. Brain imaging shows up to 30 to 50% reductions in acetylcholine activity, the chemical your brain needs to form memories, stay focused, and recognize familiar faces. And the uncomfortable truth? Parts of the pharmaceutical system and long-term care industry have known about these effects for decades, while prescriptions and profits kept rising. A 2019 study published in JAMA Internal Medicine found certain commonly prescribed drugs increased dementia risk by up to 54% with long-term use. In the next few minutes, I'm going to count down 9 medications linked to higher dementia risk after 60. And halfway through this list, one drug will shock you because it's often recommended as safe. Before we start, type "check my meds" in the comments, because staying silent about this is exactly how damage goes unnoticed. We're starting at number 9, and listen carefully. Lower on the list does not mean safe. Number 9, sleep aids pills. Pills many seniors take nightly, believing sleep equals brain recovery. These medications block histamine and suppress neural alertness. That sounds helpful until you realize histamine also supports memory encoding and attention. In aging brains with reduced neural plasticity, this blockade lingers longer, creating next-day confusion. A 2015 study showed a 43% increase in cognitive decline with frequent use. Symptoms look like just grogginess, misplaced items, slower recall. Many seniors also experience vivid dreams, nighttime disorientation, and increased fall risk when getting up to use the bathroom. But this isn't harmless fog. It's chemical suppression slowly training the brain to stay offline. Safer options include behavioral sleep routines and light-based circadian resets. And do not stop these medications suddenly. Withdrawal can worsen confusion fast. Number 8. Bladder control medications, often given casually for urgency or leaks. These drugs strongly block acetylcholine. Aging brains already struggle to maintain acetylcholine levels, so the hit is amplified. A 2017 study linked them to a 38% higher dementia risk. Seniors notice word-finding trouble, mental fatigue, personality dulling. Many also report increased confusion in unfamiliar places, difficulty following conversations, and a strange emotional flatness that family members notice first. It's written off as getting older, but it's chemical. Over time, this suppression can erode attention span and learning ability, quietly shrinking mental resilience. Non-drug bladder training, timed voiding, and pelvic strategies exist and can significantly reduce reliance. And again, abrupt stopping can destabilize the nervous system and worsen symptoms quickly. Number 7. Older antihistamines for allergies or itching. They're everywhere, cheap, and labeled gentle. They cross the blood-brain barrier and sedate memory centers. In seniors, clearance is slower, so the brain stays suppressed longer. A 2015 study showed a 54% increased dementia risk with cumulative use. Symptoms include slowed thinking, emotional flatness, poor attention. Many seniors also experience delayed reaction time, confusion in crowded environments, and difficulty processing new information, especially later in the day. Family members often notice increased withdrawal, irritability, or a dimmed personality before memory loss is obvious. This is not seasonal annoyance. It's neural shutdown happening quietly with each dose. Over months and years, this suppression compounds, weakening resilience in already vulnerable aging brains. Newer, non-sedating alternatives exist that don't penetrate the brain in the same way. Do not quit suddenly if used daily, as rebound symptoms can intensify confusion and distress. Number 6. Certain anti-nausea and motion sickness medications, often used temporarily, but repeatedly. These disrupt dopamine acetylcholine balance in the brain, a balance that controls orientation, memory, and emotional regulation. Older brains can't rebalance as efficiently, so the disruption lasts longer and cuts deeper. A 2016 neurological review found a 31% increase in cognitive impairment with repeated use. Seniors feel off balance, mentally disconnected, forgetful. Many also report slowed reactions, sudden confusion in moving environments, and a floating, unreal sensation that makes the world feel unfamiliar. These symptoms are brushed off as vertigo or fatigue, but the damage is specific and cumulative. Each dose reinforces neural instability, increasing vulnerability to long-term decline. Physical vestibular training and targeted balance therapy can reduce reliance and restore brain signaling. Sudden stopping can rebound symptoms and intensify disorientation fast. If this list is already changing how you think about your own medications, hit like right now. That one click helps this warning reach other seniors before silent damage continues. Liking the video isn't support for me. It's protection for someone who hasn't connected these dots yet. Number 5. Some antidepressants. Number 5 is some antidepressants, especially older tricyclic types. Many assume these protect the brain. Instead, they blunt neurotransmitter signaling and slow synaptic firing, especially acetylcholine and norepinephrine pathways tied to focus and memory. Aging neurons already fire less efficiently, so this slowdown compounds quickly. A 2018 study showed a 34% increased dementia risk with long-term use. Symptoms include emotional numbness, memory gaps, slowed speech. Many seniors also experience difficulty learning new information, reduced motivation, delayed reactions, and a sense of mental heaviness that makes everyday tasks feel overwhelming. Loved ones often notice reduced engagement or personality flattening long before memory loss is acknowledged. This is often misread as depression progression, leading to higher doses instead of reevaluation. Lifestyle-based mood interventions, therapy, and newer brain-sparing options can help. Never stop abruptly. Nervous system shock is real and destabilizing. Number 4. Antipsychotics used for agitation or sleep in seniors. These suppress dopamine and acetylcholine simultaneously, shutting down circuits responsible for motivation, memory formation, and emotional regulation. In aging brains, where dopamine signaling is already reduced, this double suppression accelerates structural decline and disconnects neural networks. A 2020 study found a 60% increase in dementia progression with continued use. Symptoms include sudden confusion, personality changes, loss of independence. Many seniors also develop rigid movements, flattened emotions, slowed thinking, and a rapid drop in daily functioning that families describe as overnight decline. This is not calming. It's neurological suppression that masks distress by silencing the brain. Environmental adjustments, routine stabilization, and targeted behavioral strategies can reduce reliance. Abrupt withdrawal can be dangerous, triggering severe agitation, confusion, and neurological rebound. At this point in the list, think about one person over 60 who trusts their medications without question. Share this video with them now. Sharing isn't alarmist, it's responsible. One message from you could interrupt years of silent brain damage before it goes too far. Number 3. Certain blood pressure medications. Number 3 is certain blood pressure medications that cross into the brain. Blood pressure control is vital, but some types reduce cerebral blood flow too aggressively. Aging brains already receive less oxygen, and these medications can push them below the threshold needed for sharp thinking and memory formation. A 2019 cardiovascular study linked specific classes to a 28% increase in cognitive decline. Seniors notice dizziness, slow thinking, visual disturbances. Many also report sudden mental fatigue, difficulty concentrating, and a washed-out feeling that appears hours after dosing. Family members often describe increased forgetfulness and hesitation that wasn't there before. It's blamed on pressure changes, but the brain is literally being underfueled. Over time, repeated low-flow episodes strain neurons and accelerate decline. Alternative classes exist that protect circulation without starving the brain. Do not stop suddenly. Blood pressure spikes are dangerous and can cause rapid neurological stress. Number 2. Polypharmacy. Number 2 expands beyond a single drug. Polypharmacy, taking 5, 6, 7 medications together, each one interacting, compounding neurotransmitter suppression, slowing brain signaling, and overwhelming detox pathways that already weaken with age. What makes this especially dangerous is that no single prescription looks like the culprit. The damage comes from accumulation. A 2021 study in the Lancet Healthy Longevity showed seniors on multiple anticholinergic drugs had a 72% higher dementia risk. Symptoms explode: confusion, falls, memory loss, emotional instability. Many seniors also experience sudden personality shifts, poor judgment, worsening balance, and rapid loss of confidence that leads to isolation. Doctors often treat each symptom separately, adding yet another drug. This isn't aging, it's chemical overload stacking quietly over years. Medication reviews can dramatically reduce risk and restore clarity. Never stop everything at once. Unmanaged withdrawal can trigger severe neurological chaos. If this information feels uncomfortable, that's exactly why you need to be here. Subscribe to Senior Health Support now. This channel exists to expose what seniors are rarely told and to give you tools before damage becomes permanent. Subscribing means you don't face these risks blind or alone, and you stay one step ahead instead of reacting too late. Number 1. Cumulative anticholinergic burden. And number 1 is the hidden threat behind this entire list. Cumulative anticholinergic burden. Not one pill, not one dose, but years of tiny hits adding up, day after day, prescription after prescription. This burden silently shrinks the hippocampus, the memory center responsible for learning, orientation, and recall. A 2022 brain imaging study showed up to 8% hippocampal volume loss in long-term users. That is structural brain damage, not forgetfulness. This reframes everything you've heard today, because the danger isn't a single medication. It's unexamined accumulation across sleep aids, bladder drugs, allergies, mood, and blood pressure. The brain keeps score even when symptoms seem mild. And here's the hope. Research shows that lowering this burden can reopen neural pathways, improve clarity, and slow decline. Prevention isn't passive. Reversal begins the moment this burden is confronted. Do not minimize what you're feeling anymore. Small changes are often the earliest warnings, not harmless quirks. Memory loss doesn't begin with forgetting names. It begins with accepting decline as normal. You deserve clear answers, not vague reassurances. Sit down with your doctor, review every prescription, and ask why each one is still necessary. Insist on understanding how they interact, how long they've been taken, and what the exit strategy is. This is not confrontation, it's protection. The earlier this discussion happens, the more brain function can be preserved. Waiting does not make this safer. Action does. Before you leave, don't stay silent. Comment, "Review my meds" if you're over 60 or caring for someone who is. Commenting isn't just engagement. It's a signal that you're paying attention and taking control. Silence lets this stay hidden. Your comment could push someone else to act before it's too late. Before you go, understand this. Everything we talked about today connects directly to stroke risk after 60. Medications that cloud thinking, reduce blood flow, or overload the brain don't just affect memory. They can push the brain toward a crisis. That's why your next watch matters. In my next video, Over 60? Watch for these critical stroke signs. I reveal the subtle warning signals most seniors miss until it's too late. Signals that don't look like a classic stroke at all. If you watch it, you'll know what to catch early, what to act on immediately, and how to protect your brain before damage becomes permanent. Click it now, because awareness doesn't just inform you, it can save your independence.